Welcome to Mrs. True Crime. Today's video is an in-depth look into unsolved John Doe cases. It's tell loose threads and conspiracy. If you're triggered by anything dealing with death, feel free to click off this video. Perhaps check out my gaming channel, Retell Me Games, for some lighthearted content. If not, I'm Nicole. Let's get started. 60% of missing people are adults over 18. Of the large amount of missing persons, 52% are male. By December 2017, there were 8,634 unidentified person records in the National Crime Information Center, NCIC, and during the course of 2017, 886 unidentified persons were entered into the NCIC. Of the entries, 674, or 76%, were deceased, 0.6% were catastrophic victims, and 23.4% were living persons who couldn't identify themselves. Despite the high volume, unidentified person entries have decreased by 0.9% since 2016. In 2016, there were 894 unidentified persons entered into the database. Of that, 18.6% were living persons who couldn't identify themselves, 0.9% were catastrophic victims, and 80.5% were deceased. In that 80.5% was a John Doe found in Brooklyn, New York. Found in the upstairs bedroom of an abandoned home in Brooklyn, this man didn't have any ID on him. There wasn't any luggage or a clothes label with his name or any identifiers on it. The closest thing to a verification were dog tags with Army Strong on one side and a quote from Joshua 1:9 on the other side that reads, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you whenever you go." He also had a fluorescent green rubber bracelet with generationon.org on it, which, according to the website, provides programs, tools, and resources to engage kids and teens in service and volunteering. He also wore a tan bracelet that resembles a rubber band and had a black pager manufactured by PageNet. Inside the room were multiple items of clothing, shoes, and a backpack filled with toiletries. Paperwork and food wrappers with the expiration date of fall 2013 were also found, leading investigators to believe he was homeless and possibly squatting. Though he was found February 29, 2016, his remains were nearly skeletal, putting an estimated year of death between 2010 and 2015. On his remains, he wore a red pullover fleece jacket, tan pullover fleece jacket, orange collared short sleeve Virginia Tech shirt, tan t-shirt, black sweatpants with white strips along the sides, and blue denim shorts. Analysis of his bones concluded he had osteoarthritis throughout his body, resulting in difficulty moving around. He is thought to be between 55 to 85 years old, African American, and around 5'7". Those with information, or if he looks familiar, is asked to call investigators at 212-447-2770. Family trips are supposed to be a time of relaxation and fun memories to hold onto for a lifetime. One wouldn't expect anything tragic to happen, besides the Wi-Fi going out, I'm sure. But for one family in Mendocino County, California, their vacation spot turned cryptic. For years, a Humboldt County family kayaked and hunted mushrooms by the Eel River, and each trip was better than the last. According to rivers.gov, the Eel River is the third largest watershed in California, flowing 200 plus air miles and traveling 800 river miles from above Lake Pillsbury to the ocean. On the banks of this river, the family passed the tip of a man's white athletic shoe for years and paid little attention to it, believing it was just debris that washed on shore. But near Halloween in 2012, the one lone shoe had found a mate. When my husband pulled the shoe out, explained the wife, who prefers the family remain anonymous, he thought it had roots grown into it and had to really pull. At that point, the foot came off the leg bone. The husband dumped out the shoe, discovering both a sock and a foot bone. He was just freaked out and full of disbelief. He was focused on the bones in the shoe, the sock. Could they really be from a skeleton? There was still dirt in the hole around. The husband, and by association the family, had stumbled across skeletal remains. They placed the shoes back the way they found it and took photos to show police before contacting the county sheriff. At first, investigators thought it was just a Halloween prank, but when they saw the photos and examined the grave, they realized it was very true. With the assistance of forensic scientists at Chico State University, authorities determined the skeleton belonged to a white male between 25 to 45, around 5'11 to 6'5". They further believed he was a victim of homicide, but have yet to determine the cause of death. The man was wearing a t-shirt, either white or beige in color, with the saying, "Before I started working here, I drank, smoked, and used foul language for no reason at all. But now, thanks to this job, I have a reason." He also wore long pants and carried a pocket knife. His shoes were Pro Wings, described as a brand by Payless Shoe Source that thrived in the late 1980s to early 1990s. Reddit user Albrecht Einstein also discovered John Doe's shirt in a different color being sold online, saying that the shirt was also from the 1980s, placing John Doe's death possibly between late 1980s to early 1990s. Anyone with information regarding this case is urged to contact the Sheriff's Office tip line by calling 707-234-2100. On an episode of Adam Ruins Everything, comedian Adam Conover explains that death happens, and that as painful as it is to talk about, it's important to not only understand it, but make sure your family knows what you want to happen after your untimely death. I like to be buried in a unicorn-designed coffin with a Mary Mary song playing in the background. But for a man, only known as the flat-top John Doe, his only request was to be cremated. Unfortunately, his last wishes have yet to be executed. Discovered September 8, 2004, by bow hunters at Flat Top's White River National Forest, Colorado, inside a tent, there wasn't much of the man to be found. His remains were skeletal, estimating his death between 1999 to 2003. Due to the state of the body, the exact cause of death has yet to be determined, though it's suspected as natural. Analysis have deduced that he was approximately 35 to 65 years old, white and 5'11 to 6'2". Further examination found that he suffered from severe degeneration in his back and neck. He also had extensive and expensive dental work, including gold work, crowns, bridges, and fillings in almost all his teeth. On his person were brown and black size 9 medium Timberland hiking boots and rotted away trousers, but flat-top John Doe is infamous for what was with him when found. There were fragments of a sleeping cushion, a blue backpack, and a brown sleeping bag. He had clothing and accessories, including a yellow-green plastic poncho, a black belt with long underwear fragments clinging to it, a pair of blue wool socks with duct tape around the toes, and a blue and black Jamesport backpack. His toiletries were a blue hairbrush, an empty Tylenol bottle, fingernail clippers, tweezers, a package of foam earplugs, and a package of razor blades. He had $620 in the form of 6 $100 bills, one $10 bill, one $5 bill, and 5 $1 bills, all of which dating back to 1999. There was also bedding of a green camping pillow and a Slumberjack sleeping bag with a Perth, Australia cover. His camping equipment involved a green Eureka Dome tent, a butane stove with 2 fuel cans, a Sweetwater water filtration kit, tent repair kit, 2 green plastic military-style canteens, a round red and blue canteen, a compass, aluminum cooking pot, a spoon, and 2 drinking cups. His belongings also included 2 National Geographic moisture-proof trail maps of the flat tops with a route drawn across them from the northern trailhead to the area where he was found. Entertainment in the form of a 4-in-1 Radio Shack game and a pocket-sized battleship. Sunglasses, reading glasses, a magnifying glass, and a pair of Silver Sharper image binoculars. 20 packs of Camel unfiltrated cigarettes and 8 multicolored butane lighters, suggesting he was either a heavy smoker or planned to be in the woods for some time. There were also a few miscellaneous items of 2 plastic zipper bags, a bell, pepper spray, and a roll of duct tape. Even with all this equipment that raises more questions than answers, there is still one more thing that entices this mystery. A green pocket-sized spiral notebook with hand-drawn artwork with a heart with figures inside, one that happens to be a cat, was also found with John Doe. The notebook is one of the biggest clues to his identification, as everything is written in his own words and hand. though because he was in the woods for so long, the notebook's pages had become hard to decipher. Analysis can make out the first page, which reads, "Dear Lib, I should write in case my situation here doesn't improve. This may be the end of my journey." The rest is a bit illegible, reading, "Would like for you to claim the body. Services or memorial. Cremation." The remainder of the page is barely understandable with the following words and phrases pieced together: I, thought, favor, or flavor. The next section is the same with sentences: "Third choice, take them up in a glider. I promise not to get sick on you," and words: "this, you, and not." Another page reads, "R on the, would you call her, D have it sent, you because I wanted to, where?" And a recovered fragment saying, "B, my S are going." Reddit users question how he managed to hike with all of his belongings with back pain, as well as who Lib was. Was she, or perhaps he, with him and left? Was he waiting on Lib? Was he even from Colorado? His sleeping bag raises questions. I looked over the pages myself and tried to see if I can make out any more words. There looks to be more letters beside the name Lib. Could be the date, could be the full name, or could be random smudges. At the bottom of that page, I believe says, "I thought, get favor," which I'm thinking is religious. The next page I've made out what I think are the words "not Brian" in either "hit, leaving," or "I'm leaving." This notebook could hold the identity of the flat-top John Doe. It's just a shame it took so long to discover him. If he looks or sounds familiar, or you have any information about this case, please call 970-945-1377, extension 1025. Currently, there are 40,000 sets of unidentified human remains in evidence rooms of medical examiners' offices throughout the country. Only about 15% are entered into the FBI's NCIC, but there is a bit of a silver lining. Of the 894 records I mentioned previously that were entered in 2017, 684 records were canceled or cleared due to either being identified or the record being invalid. The NAMA's website has aided in 42.50% of cases, and from their system, 21.55% are now closed. The yearly data of unidentified persons entered into the database that I could find dated back to 1990, with 1,567 entries. As the years progressed, the entries began to dwindle, and by 2002, there were 947 entries. Of course, each year is different, and there have been increase or decrease of missing persons as time goes on. But with modern technology and different outlets to discuss and analyze cases, who's to say that the man found in Brooklyn won't be identified this year? Or maybe the Mendocino County John Doe will finally have justice. And perhaps Lib can have the closure they have been searching for. Everyone has a story, and no one wants their book to end without a successful conclusion. I'm Mrs. True Crime, and remember to be kind, be loud, be aware. For more information about any of the cases listed, why not check out some of these awesome links? And if you like what you saw and heard today, why not drop a like and a comment? Maybe subscribe while you're here. I make new videos every Tuesday and Friday, and you don't want to miss what's in store.